is Stephanie Lynch. Now, Stephanie's been involved in the TV video game since she's about 16 years of age. And she set up her business, which she'll tell you about it now in a second, called On the QT, and she brought that up through the UCC Ignite program, which is an incubator which helps graduates with ideas to get traction in terms of setting up a business. And thankfully it's going really well, and it's growing all the time, and it's about to go global. So, ladies and gents, please put your hands together for Stephanie Lynch.
Perfect. So my business is on the QT.ie, as Aidan said there. So basically what it is we promote the places that as locals you fall in love with and you return to again and again. So basically my background is in TV, radio and new media broadcasting, which I did in IT Tralee for 4 years. And I suppose before I even set foot in my first year in college, I was working in RT on a kids show called Satitude. So I got my experience like before I even set foot in my degree. So following that, I did loads of different programs like Republica Telly and last year the Today Show and a few bits like that. So I got the experience as I went along, and I really learned from it, from just being out in the real world as well as studying it. And in my final year, I decided to go with an idea I had and do kind of a pilot of it. So I put the pilot then into the Young Entrepreneur Programme in Tralee. And following that, I suppose we didn't win it, but it kind of gave me the idea that, you know, this is something that I could go with. This is something that could really be a great business. It's very different and it would benefit quite a lot of people. So as you know, I pitched the idea to Ignite and got accepted onto Ignite, and I was there from September till the summer, and launched on the QT then in March, which was great. So basically what we do is we do videos and we do blogs and promote the places that you stumble upon more than the typical tourist attractions. So what I wanted to talk to you tonight about is just, I suppose, the creative mind versus the business mind. So when I finished college, I would have had the creative mind, and I did Ignite because I didn't have the business side of things, and I needed help to merge those two together to make it into a business. So basically, I want to talk about thinking outside the box a little bit, and that's the one way that you're going to stand out from the crowd. So I have three little tips that I suppose, learned along the way. So the first one would be the pitch, the elevator pitch that I sat in so many workshops and people were telling me, you know, do it this way or do it that way. But at the end of the day, I kind of judged it that if I went into a room and I met somebody for the first time, if I met them again and they didn't know who I was or what my business was, then I wasn't doing a good enough job. So when I started, I thought, you know, I have to be business-like and, you know, try and get into the role of it. But the more I realized it, the more I was myself and more creative, the more people remembered it and the more people remembered me. So originally I pitched on the QT. I said, on the QT is a tourism business that promotes places off the beaten track, the places that we fall in love with. Not many of you would remember that, say, this time next year. So I changed that whole idea. I went with more of a story. So I started to tell people about how I came up with the idea for On the QT. So I tell people I was in the States. I went there on my own. I worked in a summer camp over there. I taught sailing for the whole summer. I was the first Irish person in the summer camp, so I got a real local experience of it. I suppose I found the people that surrounded me were all locals, so I knew the best place to get the chowder, the best surfing spots, the best local gems around. And that's when I came home then I realised that people flew into Dublin, they came down, they kissed the Blarney Stone, they went on and they went and did the Ring of Kerry, and they got back on a flight again, and they saw nowhere in between. And that's how I came up with the idea for On the QT. So that's what we do. We show people the places in between. And that's the way I pitch On the QT now, because you'll remember that story. You'll remember that, as opposed to the uptight, not sure, you know, the business pitch that I thought I had to do. So that would be my first lesson, really, is to be yourself and think outside the box. Think of a way that people will remember it, and people won't remember a pitch, a businessy pitch. They'll remember the creativity, kind of more the storytelling of the pitch as well. Secondly, I just wanted to talk about the audience. So your audience will help you become creative as well. So basically, I learned this very quickly, because before I even launched, Deirdre Shaughnessy, who works in 96 FM now, she said to me, you have to go to Kilfinnan. You have to go to Kilfinnan and see the gems that are there, because that was her place that she fell in love with. So I said, okay, I'll go down and to Kilfinnan. So I did a video down there, well, it's where Kim and Kanye went, but we went there a year before, so they copied us. So we went down to do a video there and launched it. And then once I launched On the QT, more and more people were saying to me, oh my God, you have to go here, you have to go here, you have to go here. And I kind of had to take a step back and say, okay, I can't go everywhere, I have to pick where I'm going. But then when I really thought about it, I was like, okay, how can I change this and be able to go to all the places that people are telling me to go to? So we added a little section to the site, the Add Your QT Spot. So now anybody, no matter where you are in the world, can upload your QT spot, the place that you love, and the place that you fell in love with. So now when people say it, I can say, well, you can actually do it yourself. You can be creative. So I suppose we're more encouraging people to be creative and use their creativity. So we have a very simple form that basically it helps you be a little bit different. It's not the marketing copy and paste. It really is your experience. It's telling you that if you go to Ardmore in Waterford to order the banoffee pie and the White Horse, because it's the best thing you'll ever taste, it's those little gems and the things that only a local person can tell you about. So we launched that, the QT spot, but then I kind of took a step back again and said, okay, what else can I do kind of different that will increase the amount of places we have? So a lot of Irish people were going abroad working. I got loads of emails saying that, you know, our blog and videos make people homesick. So I was like, okay. I was like, well, what can I do there? So now we have people who have gone abroad blogging for us on their gems. So we have bloggers in San Francisco, New Zealand, Australia, a blogger based in India, all wanting to show people at home what they're doing. So they want to be creative as well. So what I suppose I realized is the travel industry was moving. So people, like, it's great for us to be creative, but you have to help them to be creative and show them their voice as well. And so that's kind of another angle that we took, that just taking a step back, thinking about it, thinking about the audience, how to engage them, is the main message of it as well. And the third thing, which leads on from that, is the voice. So the voice you have is key. So I suppose we would be on social media and all that, but I like to kind of use the phrase, if you are on social media, don't put up absolutely everything. It's like a game of join the dots. So you put the dots up, but you don't necessarily have to join them together at all. So you put up what you want, but keep them interested, because why will they come back again? So you can use all different types of social media for this, but you have to adapt it creativity. I can't ever pronounce that. I knew that was going to happen. You have to kind of do it in your own style. So say I was on a shoot now, say last week now we were in Rumley's open farm. So what we did was, we are editing the video and all that at the moment. But while we were there, we did a lot of vines along the way. I had a great girl doing all this for me while I was filming. So she did a vine, say, of feeding the lambs, of the tractor tour. So we put up all these. So they were kind of like teasers for the main video. So it's just to think differently rather than putting up a tweet. This is what we're doing. show people, people will click on the play button more so than even read the tweet at the end of the day. And it's just being a little bit different with your Twitter and your social media. As you can see, our videos are very different, the style of them. So say you're going to get a video done of your location, you want to get the feeling of your location across. You want to get kind of the atmosphere, even if it's a corporate video, if you want to get something across, and let's say it is a boring topic, cut it down to 30 seconds because people won't go past that. But if it's a good topic that you think people will go past, go a minute and a half, people will lose concentration after that. So if anyone ever tries to sell you past a minute and a half, just don't do it, because on social media, people won't click past that. So basically with us, we could be absolutely anywhere. As you can see from the video, there's a wide range of things that we would be doing, and we have to adapt to each one of those. So our style would stay the same. We would have the experience style of it, so you kind of get a taste of where you are before you get there. And that's kind of our style to it. So people will nearly know a QT video before they know it is one of our videos as well. So basically that's all I wanted to kind of talk about, is the creativity side of it, and the videos, just using things a little bit differently, not your typical Facebook and your Twitter, and just think outside the box and what works for your business. And if you can, do the social media side yourself, because it's your voice. So when someone rings you, they'll want to talk to the person that they know your style already. So if you can have that same voice on your social media and throughout, it does make a difference, and people will adapt to you. And the last thing is, whatever brand you are, you're going to become the brand. People come up to me saying, "Oh, you're on the QT." And I kind of prefer if they come up to me and say I'm on the QT rather than my name, because it means that I'm doing something right. So I hope that was helpful, and if any questions.